So everybody talks about the van, the route, the budget, but nobody talks about the really important stuff that has to happen before you depart on your big lap and what you actually need to do before you can leave. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down 6 things that you need to do in order before you can leave on your big lap of Australia. So number 1, life admin. Now, I know this sounds boring, and yes, it is. However, it's really, really vital. And if you can do all of this stuff, it's going to make for a very less stressful departure date. So life admin, what am I talking about? Well, about 6 months out, you should start getting all this stuff ready. Now, if you want to depart next week, that's completely cool. You would just need to do all of this really condensed, and you'll need to really be organized and on top of it. However, for most of us, about 6 months out, start organizing your life admin. So what do I mean? I mean about medical appointments. You know, those things that you keep putting off? Well, I can guarantee when you're in the middle of nowhere, you will need to have a chat with your GP or a specialist or something. So get on top of it all. Go and have a chat with them to tell them that you're going to be departing for a lengthy holiday, whether it be 6 months, a year, you know, your chosen length of time. But make sure you get things up to date. What you need to talk to them about is medicine scripts. Can you get it from a different state? There are some medications that you can't, so just do have a chat with them. If there's anything follow-up that you need to do, you know, have a chat with them. See, can they take your appointments onto telehealth and just get it all set up and ready to go for both yourself and the rest of your family before you depart. So medical and specialists, don't forget in there any mental health type stuff too. Make sure that all your specialists are covered, because yes, just because you go on a holiday, trust me, things still go with you, and even the stuff you don't want it to go with you. So make sure you've got your plans in place. The next couple of things are things like driver's license. How obvious is that? Like driver's license. However, make sure that it's going to be in date, because you don't want to be somewhere that it's going to make life very difficult because you're not near like a service SA type centre, just to be able to go in to renew your driver's license should you have forgotten that it's you know, about to expire. Don't worry, we might have all been there, done that. But anyway, that's another story. So driver's license, make sure that one's up to date. Things like Medicare, check that your addresses are correct, that your expiry there is not going to just run out. And even like your passport. Are you thinking of maybe going to do a sneaky Bali trip from Perth because it's cheaper? You know, if you're that side of Australia, you can just hop on a flight for a week and have a holiday on a holiday. Why not? Sounds like a good idea to me, really. However, just make sure that if that is the case, you have your passport all up to date and allow yourself plenty of time. I mean, we know that there's a lot of this sort of government stuff that just takes forever. So give yourself plenty of time. Now, if you do want a checklist with all of this stuff, check the link in the description below, because I won't have it on screen because editing Margie is not that clever yet. Bear with me on that one. However, in the description, I'll put a link to some checklists of all that life admin type stuff. All right, number 2, your house. This is a bit of a debatable topic because, well, a house, you can either rent it, you can either sell it, you can either just lock it up and go away. They're pretty much your 3 main options. Each have their pros and cons, and I'll do another video down the track. So do make sure you subscribe to this. And then I'll go through all of that sort of house type stuff with you. But house, if you were to rent it out, that's a really good option because it can help pay for some of your mortgage, and it can also, depending on how you set up things, pay for some of your trip. However, you need to find yourself a property manager or learn how to rent a property out yourself. And also, what do you do with all your stuff? So I don't know, if you're like us, we have stuff everywhere, and it takes a while to go through it all, and give yourself plenty of time and write yourself out lists of what you need to do in what order. So that's what I talk about with stuff. Now, if you're going to be renting out your house, there you go. So there's a couple of things there. Now, if you're going to be selling your house, the problem there is, we've seen it before in COVID times, and let's hope nothing like that comes back, but people were selling their house, going on their year-long plus journey to then come back to ridiculous house prices and then work out that they couldn't get back into the market. Now, that is a big con to this selling your house. Is it going to happen again? We don't know. So do have a bit of a chat and talk through all these sorts of scenarios. The other thing is too, if you go on your big lap of Australia and a couple of months in you go, this is not for you, and that's completely okay. It's not for everybody. What's your plan B option going to be? And if you've just sold your house, have you got like a fallback? Have you got a plan B option as what to do? So just things to think about. That look, there's no right or wrong way with any of this. You just need to know what it is that you want to do. So therefore, you can put plans in place accordingly. Now, the other one is too that people do is you lock up the doors and just walk away. Look, and that's probably okay for a short amount of time. And this is all personal preference here. If you're happy to do so, that's completely cool. Obviously, we got then the security risk. So if you leave a house unattended, what may or may not happen. And also just houses just typically need somebody to live in to be able to check, check the mail, check the grass needs to be mowed, that sort of stuff too. So you might need to get a friend or family member to come in and check on your house periodically. So there's a couple of things to do with your house. Number 3, insurance. Now, again, if you're renting out your house, you'll probably need to get yourself some landlord insurance. Your property manager can sort you through this. You'll probably need to have a chat with your own house insurance to let them know what's going on, especially if you're going to be locking it up and walking away. They tend not to like that. So your premiums may probably go up. So just double check that one too. Also, insurance. Everything that comes under the insurance category is stuff like your car and your van. Make sure that your van is able, and your car, that your setup can be towed from the middle of nowhere. So when you're looking for your insurance and you're doing your ringing around and working out or you're searching around, make sure that they're capable of towing long distances. And also, can you go to any mechanic, or does it have to go back to a particular mechanic? Because that could have influence on which insurance company you go on. Because if you have to tow, 3,000 kilometers back somewhere to Joe Blogg's mechanic, it might not be feasible. So just check that you've got roadside assistance and towing options. Also have a look at if the insurance company allows you to go on dirt roads. There are some insurance companies out there that have clauses in it, and basically they're saying, well, look, if you go on a non-gazetted road, I think it is, don't quote me on that one, but we won't cover you. So these are just things to just check up on with your insurance. Also, now, medical insurance. If you have private health, I'll leave that up to you entirely. But check your ambulance cover, because a lot of ambulance cover is state only. So again, make sure that it's available for the whole of Australia, because you'll be traveling the whole of Australia and you don't want any nasty surprises, especially if you need to use an ambulance. The last thing you want then is a financial troubles on top of that. Okie dokie. Number 4, financial stuff. This is all the good fun stuff, which, look, goes without saying, but things like make sure your tax is up to date. Because I tell you what, you don't want to be in the middle of nowhere enjoying like Carangini or something like that to go, oh crap, I need to do my tax because my accountant's just got on to me about that one. It wouldn't be such a good feeling. So make sure everything like that is up to date, and even ahead of time if it saves you a bit of trouble down the track. Also, banking. Here's a trick that I learned, or maybe that I learned the hard way. I love having all my banking cards on my phone, because I then don't have to lose my phone, hopefully. But it's just one less thing that I need to worry about, which is awesome until you go somewhere there's no phone reception. So anyway, long story short, make sure you have an actual physical bank card when you go to the middle of nowhere type places. Yeah, anyway, moving right along from that one. Number 5, mail and subscriptions. Mail, just redirect it through Australia Post, because if you rent out your house, I don't think your tenant probably really wants to be dealing with all your mail too. So redirect it to a friend or family member, and even better, go through it all and see if you can get everything to go to your email. So bills, that sort of stuff. If you haven't already, swap it all over to email. It makes life so much easier. And then on the subscription side of things, if you get things sent physically, like we get our toilet paper sent, for example, you might just need to put that on hold while you're away. Magazines, you're not going to probably be getting them easily, so just cancel that sort of stuff. And when you're on the topic of subscriptions, check things like gym memberships, your Netflix, Spotify, anything. You may or may not be using it, but go through and just have a think. And I'll tell you what, while you're up there, have a look for your apps on your phone too. Anything you're not using and you're paying for, stop the payment. You'll save you a bit of money for that one. Okie dokie. Number 6, your digital life. And so this sort of topic all covers everything to do with digital. Are you going to take your work remotely and take it onto line? We have to travel with Starlink. We found that that's the best at the moment. Yes, it's expensive, but without it, we couldn't then continue to work while we're on the road. We also use it to homeschool our kids, just even to do Zoom chats with our friends and family. So for us, it's really important to stay online while we're traveling. So just do check how you're going to go about that. And when I then talk about into work, that's a whole nother topic for another day of how you're going to fund your travels. And I'll get to that. Like I said, subscribe to this video. I've got a whole bunch of videos coming up to do with big lap preparation and planning, which is so exciting. But coming back to digital life, check on your school. If you've got kids, also check on things like if your government portals, if you have to deal with like Centrelink, NDIS, anything like that, do check that. Can you access it? Do you have your passwords? That sort of stuff. So just, it's basically going through your mental list of what you may need during that year or so while you're away. Now, here's the trap. So you've got these 6 things that you really need to organise before you go away. However, the even more important thing from that is you need a departure date. So when are you actually going to start traveling? Not just talking about it or any of that, because we hear so much of that all the time, but when are you actually going? And there are so many variables when it comes to picking that departure date. And I know that that's one of the things that I know myself and a lot of the people that we help struggle with. So if you'd like a little bit of assistance in finding out your perfect departure date, then I suggest to watch this video here, which tells you all about all the things that can trap you and all the things that can stop you from making that departure date. So I'll see you in that video.